In today's market, many homeowners are looking for ways to make use of the equity in their home. Equity is the difference between the value of your home and the amount of debt still owed on your mortgage. It's essentially the amount of ownership that you as the homeowner have of your home, and it can be used to help you achieve your financial goals. But when is the best time to use the equity that's built up in a home? The most common scenario in which homeowners utilize equity in their homes is when they decide to move. Whether they're looking to upgrade or downsize or just want to move to a new area, they can use the equity built up in their home to help finance the purchase of their next home when they sell the home. This is especially beneficial if the homeowner is looking to purchase a home that's more expensive than their current one, as they can use the equity as a down payment to help reduce their loan amount. Another popular use of equity is to finance home improvements. Whether it's a new kitchen, a finished basement, or a complete renovation, homeowners can use equity to cover the cost of these home projects. This is a great way to protect or possibly increase the value of a home, as well as create a more comfortable living environment. It's important to keep in mind, however, that home renovations can be expensive, and it's important to make sure the improvements are worth the investment. I know we used a HELOC when we lived in a house probably 20 years ago in Lawrenceville. We opened a HELOC because we wanted to renovate our basement, and it allowed us to we kept things fairly simple, but we put in a second kitchen, we used tile floor. When we got ready to sell the house, which, was maybe a year or two after we did the renovation, it helped. It helped us get more money for the house, and we were able to pay off our primary loan and our HELOC and have down payment money for our next house. So it was a win for us. Homeowners can also use the equity in their home to consolidate debt. By taking out a home equity line of credit, a HELOC, homeowners can use the equity in their homes to pay off high interest debt, such as credit cards and personal loans. This can help them save money in the long run, as the interest rates on a HELOC are typically lower than those of other forms of debt. I had some friends who got a HELOC so that they could pay off some credit card debt and I believe a car as well. And so, finances were tight for them, but the HELOC really allowed them to streamline things, and they got a lower interest rate. The thing that made it work really well for them is that they had a financial plan. I remember they did not want to find themselves in a position a year later where they were short on money again and needed more HELOC money to pay bills. That would have been pretty disastrous, but they had a plan. They knew that it was going to be financially beneficial, and they were in a position where they could afford the HELOC payment on a monthly basis in order to get some of that other higher interest rate debt paid off. Finally, homeowners can use the equity in their homes to pay for college tuition. With college tuition costs continuing to rise, many parents are turning to their home equity to help cover the cost of their child's education. By taking out a home equity loan, they can borrow the money they need to cover tuition and other educational expenses. Once you get your HELOC set up with your mortgage company or bank, of course, they're probably going to ask you what you're going to use the money for. Not that they're super, super picky, but they love it when you're going to renovate a house. Truth is, once you get it set up and you know the amount of money that you can go up to, you may choose to never hit that total amount. Or you may also decide that a useful tool that the HELOC could serve for you is to purchase an investment property if the numbers work. I've known people who did that, who were really glad that they had that easy money to get their hands on when they found the right property. And I've known other people who wound up using their HELOC to help a family member with medical expenses. So there are a lot of different ways that the HELOC money can be used. You just need to make sure that you're not overextending yourself personally or overextending the debt on the house overall. No matter what the purpose, it's important for homeowners to understand the risks associated with using the equity in their home. It's important to make sure that any loan taken out against the home's equity is paid back on time, as failure to do so could result in the loss of the home. Yikes. Additionally, it's important to remember that the value of a home can fluctuate, and it's possible that the amount of equity in the home could decrease if the home's value decreases. Unfortunately, every HELOC situation that I've known about has not always gone well. If you want to think about what's the worst that could happen, I knew a family that was just struggling financially. They got a HELOC in order to take care of some things, but unfortunately, somebody lost their job. They needed to draw on that money more and more to pay bills. Then a worse thing happened, the market crashed. So the value of their home went down. The debt on their home was pretty significant, and they just didn't have the wherewithal to keep it all together. And it was sad, but they lost their home, and there was no real equity to draw from any longer. So the HELOCs can be great, but if they're not, it doesn't have a good plan, they could also hurt your financial situation. So you really have to be careful. Know what you're doing. Overall, there are many scenarios in which most homeowners use the equity in their home, whether it's to finance a move, make home improvements, consolidate debt, or pay for college tuition. The equity in a home can be a great resource for achieving financial goals. It's important to understand the risks associated with using the equity in your home, however, and to make sure that any loan taken out against the home's equity is paid back on time. What are your plans for your home equity? I'd love to hear about them in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and be sure to hit subscribe to continue seeing real estate tips and market updates. I'm Cindy Bunch with the Bunch team at Keller Williams, and we want to set you up for home buying and selling success.